Hi, my name is Randy Bring, and I've been a Transworld Business Broker for 24 years. I'm from New York, New York. Oh, I came here chasing a business. Well, I came here and I built a business, and when it was time for me to sell, I worked very closely with my business broker who listed my business, and I was very involved in the process. I was fascinated by the process. I was probably more involved with my business broker than I should have been. And ultimately, when we sold the business, I knew that that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to become a business broker, and that's what I became. You know, when you're a kid and you grow up, there's always that one kid that takes apart the toy and wants to see the inside of the toy. Well, when you're a business broker, there's always that guilty pleasure in wanting to take apart the business and see what the inside of the business looks like. That's exactly what I like to do. I like to take apart the business and see what the inside of it looks like. And that's what I like to do. Oh, there's too many of them to even list, but I've had some incredible joys. A couple of years ago, I sold one of the largest deals of my career. I sold a business. The business was actually out of state, and from the beginning of the deal to the end of the deal, I listed the business. I sold the business. And I never met my seller. I never met the client. I never met the buyer. We closed the deal. We closed the transaction. And to this day, almost a year and a half after the closing, I never met the buyer or the seller. And it was a major sale for this company and for myself. And never met any of the principals of the deal. And yet I remain in close contact with the seller. We've actually become friends. We've never met. Well, at 11 years old, I was issued a design patent for a puzzle that I created. I had this idea. My dad was fascinated by it, and he happened to have been an attorney, and took it to a friend of his who was a patent attorney, and the next thing I know, 6 months later, I was issued a provisional design patent for it, and it was actually sold for $1,800. I was 12 by the time it was sold, and it was a very cool thing, and that's how I sort of began to learn a little bit about entrepreneurship, all by the time I was 12 years old. Think about your business as a buyer would think about your business. Walk through your business, if not physically, but mentally walk through your business and think about your business just as a buyer would think about your business. Look at your systems, look at your equipment, look at your employees, look at your customers, and certainly not least, but perhaps most importantly, look at your financials and try to understand all of the above exactly as your buyer would look at your business. Remember that a buyer can't pay for what they can't see, and just remember that the buyer is buying the business. They're not buying you. They're not buying all the nights that you spent over the years trying all those sleepless nights trying to figure out your business. They're buying the results of what it is that you've produced, and they're not buying what they can't see and touch and feel. They're buying the results of what it is that you've produced, and nothing more than that. You need to understand that the scorecard is in fact the scorecard. It's the balance sheet, and it's the profit and loss statement, and it's the tax return. It's very difficult for you as the seller to expect to get paid twice, as so many of our Main Street business owners do. They attempt to live through their business and then expect the business broker to somehow extract a second value in that they would have the broker get them paid twice for perhaps cash that doesn't appear on their tax returns, that doesn't appear in their financial statements. Very often a business, we meet with our business owners, and the fact is they're just not ready to sell their business, and that's perfectly fine. Sometimes we meet with a business owner, it may be 3 months, 6 months, or a year before they're actually ready to sell their business. If that's the case, we're very patient. We'll sit down, we'll show you what needs to be done. Sometimes we'll bring in one of our partners and we'll give you the path, and we'll give you all the advice to get you ready so that you are ready to sell, be it 6 months or a year from now. And then we'll sell your business for maximum value sometime in the future. Oh, there's so much. I happen to live in a part of the country that is absolutely thriving. Every time we turn around, there's a new business, and the businesses here, because there's so much influx of people, businesses are just absolutely booming here in South Florida. And so, I mean, there's so much opportunity. A concept here like a seed can get planted in this area, and the next thing you know, from a 10-seat business, that operation can just it can expand from a 500-foot concept to a 5,000-foot concept, and next thing you know, they've got 3 locations and 10 locations, all starting from a seed here in South Florida. So the opportunity in this part of the state, in this part of the country, is just absolutely incredible, mostly because of the influx of people here in Florida, in South Florida particularly. Because I live here, because I work here, because my children are here, and now because my grandchildren are here. This is my hometown. This is my community. I'm prejudiced, but of course, this is South Florida. I'm here now out of my native New York. I'm here almost 50 years. So this is my hometown, and it's very, very important for me to support my community and to see it thrive. Oh my goodness. You know, I'm like a kid in a candy store. As a business broker, I'm a lover of businesses, and every time I see a business, my head snaps around and I say, oh my goodness, it would be so much fun to be doing that. There's so many things that I just absolutely love. Not that I would do it, but I love restaurants. I love service businesses. That's a difficult question, particularly at this late stage in my career. But there's just a lot of things that I'd love to be doing. I'm not sure that I could pick out any one thing at this time. New York Yankees. First of all, I'm an English major and actually trained to be an English teacher when I was a kid, and then went through high school and college. Probably the book that I fell in love with, that really got me, because I'm a reader, that got me in love with reading. Probably Arthur C. Clarke, Childhood's End or something like that, science fiction. Probably Childhood's End, Arthur Clarke. Could be anything though. Call me at 561-809-1500 or email me, randy@tworld.com.